Hi guys,
Hello.
how are
Hi.
you?
Very good,
Very
thanks.
good, yeah.
Look at you, so beautiful.
So guys, first of all, I want to start by saying that I will have Vecna and Eddie in the same room finally. So Joe, this is your time for revenge for Chrissy. What do you have to say to Vecna?
We've
I'm
got a
gonna
lot- we've
leave.
got- yeah, no, we're dealing with it. We're gonna get through it. We'll be fine. Why'd you do it, mate?
I'm sorry.
You just had to, didn't you? Just couldn't resist.
So Jamie, you're playing Vecna is amazing, and I want to ask you, how was your preparation? Because it kind of has a lot of layers in this character. So how was for you to play, knowing that he would become eventually this one character, but you have to play all of these versions before?
Yeah, so I sort of worked on Vecna and Henry at the same time. I mean, obviously they're the same person, so I had to be able to track both of them, you know, together, and you know, so and I sort of had this feeling that, you know, after everything he goes through at the end of 7, all that's left is just like this deep resentment and this deep rage. All hope has gone. She's taken everything and any chance of a sort of normal life away from him. And he's left to kind of stew in his own world with that. And then with Henry and with Juan, you know, it was about the experience, obviously, that he had as a child growing up, the belief system that he already had, that, you know, he was isolated, that the world is a lie, all of this kind of stuff. And then bringing the two together to kind of move forward. So it was complex, yes, but really fun. So I was drawing a lot of things, you know, not only from the things that I would say, but from what other people were saying in the script as well, and just kind of stick them up around, and then mood boards, all this kind of stuff. It was very artistic and freeing and very me, you know. I did it as much as I wanted to. It was great. It was really cool.
And Joe, you had a kind of emotional scene with the demo bats. So how was for you to play in that scene? Because there weren't really any bats there, so you were just like playing with the air. How was that for you?
Yeah, you feel like a silly person doing it. It's very funny. It was. I remember just kind of finding it quite funny, just kind of slashing around. And then there would be some little moments where you'd kind of have a tennis ball with a stick, and someone would just kind of hit the shield with it, and that was kind of funny. I mean, it was just totally stupid, but very fun.
And Jamie, you're also a musician, and sometimes I feel like in your songs you play with a higher tone. So how was for you to kind of make that Vecna voice?
It was a challenge. You know, Joe was there at the first read through, and I hadn't quite gotten the tone of what Vecna should sound like at that point, and so I kind of went home and was like, okay, I need to work on this some more. So it was about relaxing, opening the larynx, you know, connecting to the diaphragm more, doing some more kind of vocal warm-ups. But a lot of it came from being very relaxed and kind of being in charge and being in power of the moment, but also of oneself in that moment. And it was great. It was a joy, you know. Fucking around with your own body's great. It's really cool.
And he ditched the German accent.
Yeah, yeah.
And Joe, I want to ask you a little bit about Eddie because he became a fan favorite. So I want to know, what is your favorite thing about his journey?
I think my favourite thing is just the arc in its entirety, really. I think it's such a beautiful character, and it's so empathetically written, and that's a testament to the brothers, really. And so I felt just like so lucky to be given the opportunity to have a pop at him. I think it's just, those kind of characters come around very, very rarely, where you feel for them, and there's nuance, and there's ambition, and there's tragedy there. And I think that's kind of the thing that people are seemingly quite kind of upset about, is the fact that there is no redemption for him, but he's paid the ultimate price, and I think kind of that is really sad, but yeah, what a privilege to play someone like that.
What was the most interesting thing that you've learned about him while you were like developing this character?
I mean, it was funny. I think from sort of, if you're to look at something like a character like Vecna or the big bad in any show, you know, on a surface level, there's this sort of like, oh, they're evil, whatever. side of it. But for me, what I really enjoyed doing was understanding him and falling in love with him almost, and connecting to the things that he was saying. You know, this idea that people present a false version of themselves, I think, is something that I find really fascinating, and something that I might believe it could be true occasionally. So
What do you mean?
Not you, love. You're unequivocally yourself all the time. But you know, that's always exciting, because when you're there and you're performing those words, and all of a sudden you've done enough research and it clicks and you're really connected to it. There's nothing like that feeling. There really, really isn't. It's really cool. So yeah, that was probably my most enjoyable part of it.
What do you think about Brazil?
Love it.
Dying?
I went to Dom last night, the restaurant, Dom. I had a mad experience.
He came back, he was so buzzing. He was literally like electric. He was like, I'm fine, it's amazing.
Yeah. Alex showed me around the kitchen. It was one of the best evenings of my life. I love Brazil.
Me too.
Your friends have lost.